Hello, are we back? Are we back? We seem to be back. I love when the cable pops out. That's my favorite. I hear you in Twitch. That's good. There should be a new stream on YouTube. Do I have... I didn't realize I had auto stop turned on. I should probably... No, I don't... Why did it stop? I don't have auto start turned on. Huh? Okay. Whatever. But battery, has someone done this to you? Hashtag define true false and hashtag define false true. That gets very obnoxious when someone does that to you. Instructor cannot be redeclared. Oh. Okay. And now in the build file, let's tell it that texture.cpp exists. See macros, bad luck did this. Bad luck. Okay. We got an error in texture. Why? Redefinition of create. Oh, I do want everything from here. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. I'm a professional. I'm not making any stupid mistakes right now. Nuh-uh. No stupid mistakes here. No stupid mistakes here. There's lots of stupid mistakes here. Okay. Is that building? Macros made you run into a bad bug? Yeah, they can do that. Let's grab texture. Let's grab state of test.cpp. File is too large to be trashed, sure. So we discard all these changes. We just get the texture. Stage this, discard that, unstage this. And how is test looking? We're just grabbing the next texture. Cool. And it appears to be working. So we'll give that a quick compile. Actually, is there anything we should change in here? Am I doing any labels? That label's right. I'm helping you through, Bill, by just being here. I appreciate you. We're gonna need texture to buffer stuff. Oh, that's commented out. Why is that why are Blit and Mitmap commented out? We're gonna stick a pin in that, and we're gonna move forward a little bit. So this is web GPU X. Oh, because we don't have what are they called? Shader stuff implemented yet. Since we don't have shaders yet, we can't have texture. We can't do blitting. Why not just use the multi-line comments? Because selecting stuff and hitting Control K. Hello? Sorry, and hitting Control slash is one key shorter than hitting Control Shift A. That's why. Cool. What's the next one? The next one is buffer. We didn't do any changes to buffer. Although we did do a change to device. So we also need to go to device. And enable the create textures. And we need to go out here, go down to device, and get rid of the stub implementations for the texture stuff. So when deleting, you have to take away every double slash? No. Because in VS Code, if you hit Control slash, it just gets rid of it. You select the line Control slash, it comments it. You select multiple lines, you hit Control slash, it decomments it. That work? Does that run? Seems like it. Cool. Discard that tweak. Merge that back in. And what's the next one? Buffer? Buffer changed a lot. Most of this stuff should have been merged in. Yeah. So we'll just come up here. You just learned something that made your life easier. That's what I'm here for. Backends, web GPU, copy. Oh. Backends, web GPU, copy in. Where is buffer? Buffer. And now that's the old one. So we're going to copy buffer. On top of our buffer. And device also just got bigger. So all the buffer functions just got tweaked. By the way, battery. Are you aware that you can hold Alt and place down multiple cursors at the same time? AI 200 years of XP is passed down to me. Ooh. Although for me, it's not Alt, because I went up to Preferences and I rebind the multi-selection modifier to Control. So it's Control for me. I use Alt plus D to shift lines. And we need to go into the CMake and tell it that buffer exists. And we need to go into device and comment out the buffer code. You are a smart dude. No ish, just smart. And we did something with the test file. So let's copy the test file over. And what did we tweak? We're using operators. That seems reasonable. This backend stuff doesn't seem reasonable. Uploading a buffer seems reasonable. And auto-releasing seems reasonable. Hello? Are you alive? There we go. Uploading a buffer seems reasonable. And auto-releasing seems reasonable. But the rest of this does not seem reasonable. Wait, does it? Why are we including operators for this? Did I tell you that you finished your exams? Did you do good? Also, no, you didn't. Actually, the auto-release texture should probably be rolled into the blast one. Hey, look, it's Len. How are you doing, Mr. Totodile? So let's give this a run. And make sure that the buffer upload's working. You're doing all right? That sounds all right. No certs, so the buffer upload's working. What are you up to this morning, Mr. Totodile? Let's do a quick scan through buffer, see if there's anything we should change. Label right. Watching spooky streams? What spooky streams are you watching? Set value, set exception. Huh. All promise. Okay. Watching someone play Layers of Fear and even scarier. You're watching an AI coding stream that is the scariest. Why aren't we asserting is mapped? Because is mapped is not implemented. Why is mapped not implemented? It is morning. It's, oh, you can't see the clock. It's 10:38 a.m. Are we using mapped range? Are we using map? Oh, see, I'm wondering why my spelling is bad. It's nighttime for me. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Time. You're -5, right? So isn't it 5 in the morning for you? Or 6, almost 6 in the morning? Shouldn't you go to bed? Also, Len, who's playing Layers of Fear? Okay. That all looks good. So we'll push that through. Web GPU. And we updated device, yes. Web GPU buffer. I can type deliriums. I don't know who that is. Should AI know who that is? So we're doing shader now. And I believe shader unlocks, no, command encoder unlocks texture. Let's check out this. Shader just brings shader. So backends. Shader brings shader. And we'll copy over shader's body. And we'll copy over shader's body. Probably not. New person, I haven't really shown anyone yet. I see. Oh, you're wondering why my spelling is bad? It's 8 p.m. Why did I have in my head that you were -5 from me? 8 p.m. is a lot more than -5. Oh no, -5 is like... No, haha. Huh. You're just as tired as me. I'm always tired. AI is very confused. So we uncomment the shader code. We mentioned that shaders exist. We uncomment. Actually, not uncomment. Let's grip these a little bit closer. Cool. Is there anything we want to change in here? No, not here. Anything we want to change in here? The label looks good. That looks fine. Do we want to keep Spire V? Yeah, because for most of them, that's a fast pass. just not for WGSL, just not for web GPU. Okay. Okay. Let's see if it explodes. Oh, did I mention the shader? I did mention the shader exists. We failed. Device, create shader. No declaration matches web GPU shader. No declar. Where is that? We don't have shader. Common should be bringing in that, yeah? Why don't we have shader? Oh, it's no declaration matches. Wait. Huh? Which one do we have? We're up here. Huh? Huh? Oh, that's why. Okay. Okay, I understand now. I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. I tried programming shaders a while back. I'm a beginner in C++, so GLSL is stress on a whole other level. Look at slang. Shader slang. Slang is an extension of HLSL. And HLSL is a lot more like C++ than GLSL is. GLSL is like a C. HLSL is like a C++. And slang, did they mention all the backends they target? Yeah. Slang targets everything. They can target Spire V, GLSL, HLSL, Metal, Web GPU, PyTorch. They can make host executable code, though I've never gotten that to work. But I think theoretically you can write apps in slang. But I never tried that. But yeah, I'd recommend like looking at slang. The lectures that I've been planning for the past like 2 months. The first one is going to be web GPU. And we're going to learn some web GPU. And we're going to talk about WGSL very quickly. And then the one after that I want to do is talking about this. So Stylizer API and slang is the official language for this. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to talk about a bit of slang. I want to spend like a long time talking about slang. No declaration matches though. Oh. That'd be because no declaration matches. Let's put this one off by itself though. Oh, by the way. So we learned that Control/ comments, right? Control Shift A, multi-line comments, whatever you've selected. or uncommons. That's another good one you might want to know. So that should fix the no declaration matches. We still have an error? No, we seem to have passed. Not just an ABI thing. I don't know why they're telling me that the ABI has changed in like the world's oldest version of GCC. Maybe the only one in chat is a blessing. Slen's here, I think. Well, not there, but on the other side. Cool. So let's update test. So we'll pop back to shader. And we'll grab test. And what has changed in test? That stuff. Get rid of that. Did nothing change? Huh? Oh, shader apparently didn't tweak test at all. Okay. Good to know. So I guess we're not changing test for a little while. You made it sound like he's dead. I don't think he's dead. Slan, are you dead? The problem with Get Kraken is that sometimes it gets a little slow. He may or may not be dead. And sometimes you have to break out to the console. You have healing magic. Can you take him to the Poke Center and get him revived? Compute pipeline. So we're grabbing command buffer and compute pipeline. And we're grabbing this version. Don't worry, Len, you're being revived. Da, 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 da. What am I grabbing? Command buffer and compute pipeline. Command buffer and compute pipeline. And then in here, how much are we grabbing? We're grabbing command buffer. Are we grabbing bind group? I don't think bind group its own file. I don't think we're grabbing bind group. Are we grabbing? No, it's not. Shit. Are we grabbing bind group? Yes. Oh, there's a message here. Also limits command buffers and bind groups. Okay, so we're grabbing bind group. So we're grabbing command buffer. Aye. Command buffer. Bind group. And compute pipeline. I believe. Get rid of shader and buffer. Actually, having them here is like fine. Cool. So now let's specify that command buffer exists and compute pipeline exists. So we need the device code. Are we doing command encoder? Command encoder is the next one. Just doing compute pipeline. That's a kind of a strange order. Should we maybe be doing command encoder first? Is there a reason we're not doing command encoder first? You're gonna code a website while watching this? Good luck. We should do command and does compute pipeline inherit from command encoder? No. So we're doing the pass side. Okay. Okay. I guess this makes sense. Maybe. It doesn't really matter. So we'll make command encoder. Come down here, actually. No, like command encoder is first here. I'm so confused. Whoever did this was a mad lad. Okay. So libgpu. And we'll discard that. And we'll do the command encoder stuff instead. Aye. Okay. Is there anything interesting in here we want to think about? No viable overload for equal sign. Are we gonna crash? Okay, so we're not doing compute pipeline. Hello. How do you pronounce your name? Razin man? I'm completely wrong. I can tell I'm completely wrong. How are you doing this morning? Razin. It's alright, Sawing. How are you doing, Mr. Razin? Are you less confused than I am? Because I'm pretty confused right now. Whoever wrote this code was a psychopath. And I can say that. Because I wrote this code. Okay. Web GPU. What was this? This was compute pipeline. That's why I'm confused. Okay. I was right the first time. So we'll do compute pipeline. And then in device, that means we comment out command encoder. And we were right the first time. And does it build? It builds. Also, let's just steal the message. Also implements command buffer and bind group. Cool. So now let's go do the sensible thing. And we're gonna drag command encoder to be first. Actually did compute change test? No. So let's grant, did command encoder change test? No. That's great. So we're gonna grab command encoder. Yep. And we're gonna grab command encoder. Are you working on anything interesting, Razin? Any fun stuff happening? We're also gonna grab command encoder. And I don't believe we grab underpass. No. No, not really. I'm pretty new to programming. I think the basics of C++. Hopefully I can be of assistance with that. Just not this. This is not the basics of C++. But more holistically. And we need to uncomment create command encoder. And we need to come down here and get rid of this stuff. Still interesting, like how things work. Ew. Right now, we're doing the very boring grunt work of fueling my OCD and just making a Git history look nice, fail. Perhaps telling the compiler that command encoder.cpp exists would be helpful. And so we did a big rebase where we touched a bunch of files here. And I'm just going through and updating things so that it has a nicer, cleaner history. Which is very unnecessary, but it makes my OCD happy. Cool. So that's web GPU, command encoder, and we're not going to be a psychopath anymore. And we're going to put that in the right order. Battery still in the basics too? Ew. Good job, Mr. Battery. We all believe in you. How's your website coming? Command order.cpp. Let's make sure that that compiles. How do you quantify that question, Battery? Because honestly, I probably only know about 30% of it. Standard library has a lot of shit in it. Let's grab rendering. You're busy style. You just started Snapfire. You're busy styling the H1 tag. You love CSS. I can't stand CSS, man. It makes my brain go melt. So rendering is going to drag in render pass and render pipeline. And we're updating test on this one. We're grabbing both the render functions. And we're gonna grab render pass. And we're gonna grab render pipeline. And we'll tell compiler those exist, so render pass.cpp or render pipeline.cpp. Very basic stuff like making some type of sorting algorithm. Ooh. The only language I know till now is C++. One of my biggest problems with learning a language like C++ is like they be teaching you like you are a baby or you are an expert. I don't know what to do. You're lazy, so you use bubble sort or std sort. Objectively speaking, though, right? Unless you're learning, unless like the goal of writing a sorting algorithm is to learn how, there's no reason to just not use std sort. I try to make it simple, except what I'm doing now. This is not simple. I won't lie to you and say that it is. I will tell you that it's simpler than other rendering systems, rendering APIs. Like my API surface is only 1,000 lines of code. Unlike Vulkan. What is... I have Vulkan.h, right? Hashtag include Vulkan. Vulkan.h. As opposed to like Vulkan. Thanks, Vulkan. Vulkan 4. As opposed to like Vulkan, where the core API surface is 25,000 lines of code. So yeah, 1,000 lines versus 25,000 is a little bit simpler, I will claim, but I won't claim it's simple. Watch my learning C++ video. I didn't self-promote. It wasn't me. I didn't say it. But you should totally watch it. It's helpful, I think. I've tried to make all my videos be the thing I wish existed when I was learning. And like a lot of it, youtube.com. When I was learning, right, the Cherno was my go-to YouTube channel.
The game engine.
But all of his videos are like 15-20 minute videos. And so if you want like one concept from it, having to dig through like 20 minutes is kind of unfortunate. That's why I'm leaning more towards the 1 to 2 minute shorts that try to cover like one thing. So you're like, wait, how do I do templating again? Oh yeah, there's a 1 minute short on the subject. How do I what types of things does a GPU render? Oh hey, look, there's a 1 minute short on the topic. How do I set up VS Code? Oh hey, look, there's a 1 minute short on the topic. Cherno is great. If you're not subscribed to Cherno, I'd highly recommend him. What was I doing? We need to go into device and enable the last bits. And we need to go into device header. And we need to remove the last bits of stub code. Do you guys know what stub code is? Does the word stub mean anything to anybody? So a stub is a piece of code that hasn't been implemented yet. Like if we bring back the stub code I just got rid of, right? You see how the implementation of these functions is just to throw not implemented yet? So when you stub something, right, you make the function exist, but you have its body be something along the lines of do nothing or throw an error or something like that. I haven't talked about exceptions, have I? Because I genuinely think that using exceptions is kind of bad. But it's a tool in the toolbox that can be useful to pull out every once in a while. I should probably talk about exceptions at some point. I don't think I have a decent demo for them here, though. I also hate exception handling. I hate how slow exceptions are. But they are good in, like, application code. So, like, I don't know, you're writing, like, a banking app or something, right? Handling your errors. Like user input stuff, right? When the user gives you an input and it's bad, that's, like, the perfect place for exceptions. But, like, if you're writing library code like I usually am, exceptions are just too slow to really be helpful. 99% of the time. But I should probably teach people about them. Cool. We're building. We're running. What is the latest version of test? Probably this one. You learned about static? Nice. What's static? I don't think I've talked about static. But I will when we build an entity component system. So I'm not concerned about that one. You never understood. What is the it you never understood? Exception, static, return. What is the it you don't understand? Why is Gitkraken frozen? Did we touch? When's the last time we touched test? Here. We did a shader update. We don't seem to have a test for the compute side of things. I thought we did. I thought I remembered writing one. Huh. I should probably go and fix that. So let's just grab test in its current form. That's probably the correct answer for what to use here. And what just changed about test? This stuff changed, which I'm not a fan of. Sure, replacing this stuff with shader source is fine. Exceptions? Why not just use return? So the reason not to use return, right, is that you now need to have, like, some sort of type. It's like an optional or a sort of expected, which is called, like, result in Rust. You have to modify the return type, right? And then you need to deal with propagating errors. Like every time you call the function, you have to check, okay, was there an error? If so, return another error. If not, then do the thing. So it does add a bunch of bloat to the code. Zig, the language Zig, has some, what's it called? Syntax sugar. They have a word try, not to be confused with try in the exception sense, that when you put in front of a function call, takes their error return type and immediately returns the error for you, if there was one. But unfortunately, C has no such convenience. Let's get rid of that tweak. I'm happy with this. I'm not happy with the return. Okay, let's see if this compile. Actually, I don't like that we're doing the unique pointer side of things. Calm coding session tonight? Ew. So let's not do the temporary API version of these. Finalizer auto release. Although we should have a comment after that which tests this API. Also battery. Here's some example of slang code. It looks awfully familiar, doesn't it? The part that's a little weird are these, what the fuck are they called? Binding indicators? What? HLSL, what is SV underscore position called? Semantic. Give it to Microsoft to use the least informative name for something they possibly can. Well, I guess that's the word, so fuck Microsoft. But the part that's weird are these semantics, which tell you like where this variable should be coming from. So this variable index is the vertex index of the variable of the This variable index is the vertex index of the vertex in the triangle. How is that for a sentence? Aye. Do we want to be releasing texture or do we not? Is that bad practice? Huh. And these are no longer gets. These are now just that. We don't have to dereference pipeline. Auto release should be included already. Let's see how this explodes. Bang! We got a triangle. Cool. So what did I call this? I called this rendering. So web GPU rendering, we'll copy the message. It's a nice message. How terrible is this readme? Let's pull the readme over and see how much we dislike it. Okay, Mr. Readme, how do you look? Stylizer API. Actually, let's go into test. Stylizer API test. I actually want that. Like, as soon as we switch to using Stylizer, so in device. Let's check out device. I'll create a new branch here. I want the window to be called Stylizer API test. And we'll amend that. Make sure that builds. Your eyes hurt? You might need to go to bed soon. Well, when you do go to bed, sleep well. I blame the fact that you've been messing with CSS for too long. CSS makes my eyes hurt very quickly. Oh. Oh, that was wrong. We're still using, okay. Okay, we're not doing this. Let's mic resolve, let's abort that rebase. Let's reset B to here. Let's rename stylizer API test. Hey, see, this is good. It's not the reason my eyes hurt. If you say so. And let's make sure that this builds. It actually might be your code. Wow. Wow. Where's the GIF? GIF website. Where's the GIF I want? Wow face. There's like a blob that like makes a really big wow. Sure, we'll go with this. Wow. Cool. Everything's working. we'll cherry pick. Where's cherry pick? Texture. And we'll do it again, make sure everything's working. I know you're joking, by the way. I love that since we're updating, so what's it called? The CMake, we're gonna be rebuilding slang every time. That's pretty good. Compiling the core module took 15. Oh, did we break? No, that's just the random ABI message that exists for no reason. Let's cherry pick buffer. Do the same thing. We're actually not going to be changing anything from this point, so we should be good to cherry pick the rest of the way now. Yep. Shader. Command encoder. Compute pipeline. Rendering. I'm actually going to delete master. We're going to rename this branch to main. And we're going to switch from using master to using main. Let's make sure that the rendering part still works. Nice. And now what does this readme look like? Stylizer API is a modern C++ graphics API. It provides a clean, RAI-friendly API for managing GPU resources, rendering pipeline shader surfaces, and error handling. The library is designed to minimize boilerplate and maximize safety by leveraging C++ idioms such as smart handle wrappers, like auto-release and strongly typed error reporting. Do we have strongly typed error reporting? Do we have strongly typed error reporting? Is that a true statement? Am I lying? I'm gonna say unified error reporting. Centralized severity aware error reporting system with user-defined handlers. Automatic cleanup of GPU objects, surfaces, and other resources. SDL3 and GLFW integration. Works on major desktop platforms we haven't tested. We support web GPU. I don't believe we support GLSL anymore, but we do support Spire V. Add stylizer. Sample of use. Using SDL. This is we're using web GPU explicitly, so using WGSL is fine. We need a tweak because we should pull device events. after we process SD elements, dependency, C++26, this stuff. Cool. That looks reasonable. Let's update readme. Okay. And let's rebase that root change. So get rebase I root. And we'll squash root back. That's not how you spell squash. Squash root back in. And I guess if I want it renamed, I have to do it in here. Let's reword that. Let's get rid of roots. Cool. Let's go put this on the internet so everybody can laugh at me. Especially my total dial when it catches on fire and explodes. Cool. We're gonna blank recast while we log in. Need authenticator code. Let's grab that real fast. Are we ending stream? Pretty soon, but not quite yet. Let's unblank now that we're logged in. And we'll make, do I have a repo for Stylizer API? I do. Okay, let's just use this. I think. Yeah. You think you should wait or go to bed? Do you want to see how to upload a repo to GitHub? Because I think we're doing that and then we're ending. And the answer is we add a remote. And we're going to do it by URL. So we're going to call it origin. And we'll put in the pull URL. And we'll let it fetch. Play the Jeopardy music. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Why is it taking so long? There we go. Now we'll fetch. And we'll push to origin main. And then in here, we should have two branches. To go settings, default branch is main. I understand. And we'll go branches and we'll delete. Actually, we're not going to delete master. We're going to name this to legacy. Cool. We'll get the triangle up on screen one last time to make sure nothing's broken. Nice. And who is worth rating on Twitch? Is anyone worth... I've never tried a YouTube raid before. Should we try doing a YouTube raid? I don't know how to do that. Oh, Arlo's live. Let's raid Arlo. What do you think, Battery? Should we try and figure out how to do a YouTube raid? I think I'm going to not do that today, but I'll do some reading and see if I can find some people. And then we'll do that. Sound good? So on that note, I think everybody, why is English hard? Thank you everybody for stopping by. And we are now going to go poof. So I can't say nighty-night. What do I say? Bye-bye, I guess. Have a good day.